Hello guys, this is Alex00 here and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over the history of Richard Trager. So if you don't know the game Outlast, I really suggest you play it or watch my main walkthrough before you watch this. Richard Trager, if you didn't know already, is my favorite character in the whole Outlast series so far, at least. Probably one of the scariest too. I think top 3. Chris Walker might be the scariest though. Yeah. So we're gonna be going over the history of him. My favorite quotes, my opinions about him, blah blah blah. So if you guys do enjoy this one, make sure you go smack a like, comment down below if you want to see more of these. And as always, let's get right into the video. So Richard Trager, or for short, Rick Trager, was a Murkoff executive. But now he's like a surgeon that likes to do surgery on people. I don't even know if he thinks he's a real surgeon or not. But the status is deceased. He's dead. He died September 18th, 2013, by an elevator while chasing Miles Upshur. He's male. He's a boy, of course. He's 6'1.5". He's gray. His hair is gray, and he's partially bald. And his eyes are brown. So, if you guys don't know, he used to be a, like I said, Murkoff executive. So he wasn't a patient. He was a Murkoff executive. He was close friends with Jeremy Blair. If you guys don't know who Jeremy Blair is, he was a character from Outlast, the Whistleblower. The characteristics of Dr. Trager, or Richard Trager, whatever you want to say, or Rick Trager, whatever you want to say, he is a sadistic and mass-murdering psychopath. But his psyche and mental ability appears to operate in a highly functional way. So, remember when he tricked Miles to go up to the dumbwaiter to capture him? He tricked Miles to go up to a dumbwaiter. He's like, "Hey, shit, you're not one of them, aren't you? Quick, get in the dumbwaiter if you want to live." So he went into the dumbwaiter, and then, Trigger's waiting for him. Because Trigger sounded like, a normal person that's going to save Miles, but instead, cuts his finger off and was going to cut his tongue and genitals off, but, Miles escaped. But he still has a little bit of humanity. So, he could think for himself. Like I said, he knows how to trick people. He knows how to plan shit. Yeah, that's basically it. That's possibly how he lures his victims. So if you guys didn't know that, it's a fun fact. I didn't know that either, so that's pretty cool. He is capable of both intelligent and coherent speech, much like Eddie Gluskin, or Gluskin, whatever you want to say. If you don't know who Eddie Gluskin is, he was the second antagonist after Frank Minerva. I can't say the name. Trager either enjoys pretending to be a surgeon, or has been driven to actually believe that he is one, and has a habit of collecting body parts from his patients. So, what he usually collects are tongue, genitals, fingers, and I don't know. That's the main 3 I know. He pulled out someone's tongue because he was tired of licking his own stamps, and I thought that was a metaphor of tired of doing all your work or something like that. But he was actually tired of licking his own stamps, or whatever stamps means, patience. I don't know, variants. So he cut someone's tongue off so he can lick for them. I don't know. That's fucking creepy. And what Trager cut off was Miles' right index finger. What Trager cut off was Miles Upshur's ring and index finger because he desired to sell them. So you can basically tell he's a mass murdering psychopath. Jesus Christ. But if you guys, I can explain it well though, let me just explain the story. After Miles hears a voice and climbs into the dumbwaiter to escape his pursuers, he meets Trager. Despite Italy sounding like an alley, Trager beats him until Miles is unable to walk, picks him up, and straps him to a wheelchair. And rolling down the hallway, Trager taunts Miles by offering him the chance to escape the asylum by walking out the exit door. Although that isn't the exit door, actually. It's the exit to, the backyard or something. I don't know. I don't think that was the main exit. Miles is unable to do so with the wheelchair restraints. So Trager pretends that Miles wants to stay, taking him to an elevator and down a few more hallways. So Trager is a fucking jokester. That's why I like him so much. That's why he's my favorite character. When Trager first met him, though, he was like, "Oh, you're that shit priest guy or something like that. You're Father Martin's guy. I can't wait to kill you." So the Father Martin told every patient not to kill Miles because he wanted to explore he wanted Miles to see the Wall Rider and what the patients can do or what the patients are and stuff. But like I said, I mean, like you could see in the Outlast, Chris Walker ignored that. Who else? Eddie Gluskin. No, Eddie Gluskin was from Wayland. Chris Walker, Richard Trager. Who else? We got that guy from the basement. We got other people. A lot of other people. The twins. And Father Martin sacrificed himself. If you didn't know, because he thought he would, resurrect or something. I don't know. Yeah. But after Trager brings Miles down a few more hallways, he sees bodies of other victims who have been captured. So the guy, he pulled his tongue out. He cut off someone's genitals. The guy that was also executive, like Trager. He's like, I'm an executive, just like him, just like Trager.
Nobody! He'll find you. He'll kill you. He's coming now. Trager!
But you can't stop him. Nobody. He's coming now. Trager. And then Trager comes, and then, Miles has to hide, and then Miles has to escape, blah, blah, blah. So, he then has a short talk with Miles about Father Martin and his religious viewpoints before he takes a large pair of bone shears and cuts two of Miles' fingers. As I said, the fingers were the ring and index finger. It was the right finger and the left finger. I don't know if it was the right index finger. I don't. No, it was the right ring finger. I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so you basically know that, that Chris Walker, if you do know, likes to collect heads of his victims. And Trager likes to collect body parts of his victims. Like I said, fingers sell, genitals to, suck on. I'm kidding. Genitals, fingers, and tongues so he doesn't have to lick his own stamps. But if you didn't know, Miles breaks out of the wheelchair restraints and navigates through the other operating rooms with a patient, talks to him about and reveals that he's an executive like Trager. So, like I said earlier, he says that I'm an executive like Trager, and he screams Trager's name to get his attention, and Trager, kills him by saying, you know what, I'm here for you. You want attention? Blah, blah, blah. Like, he didn't say that, but he said something like that. So, so he killed the patient, and he went back to the operating room to check on Miles, and he found out that Miles escaped. So Miles escaped, and Trager then sources the place to find Miles. So after Miles retrieves the key to use it to start manually operated elevator, so basically Miles had to find a key to go up the elevator, and that's how Trager got killed by getting crushed by the elevator. Trager breaks into the floor below in an attempt to get Miles, but Miles struggles and pushes him out. So Miles, this is one of the things that we couldn't control, our player. So Miles struggled and pushed Trager out of the way, and Trager got crushed by the elevator when it was moving up. So his upper torso is still inside the elevator as it begins to move, and he is crushed to death in the process. And then Miles then escapes through a hatch in the elevator ceiling. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the Outlast story of Traeger. But on the Outlast the Whistleblower, Wayland passes through the mail ward. You know Wayland Park, the person we play as on the Whistleblower, the guy who sent the email to Miles to check the place out. Traeger can be seen lying dead on the ground after Murkoff's tactical division had pulled out the body from the elevator shaft. So, can someone correct me in the comments? Was it a prequel for like the first half, and then then the present after, in the Whistleblower? Like, I'm kind of confused about that. Can someone tell me? Because they found Traeger dead, but then before this, they said it was a prequel. Because Eddie Gluskin was getting what's called on life support. Patient Eddie Gluskin. I don't know how to say it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, if you play the Whistleblower, you know what I mean. So Trigger can seen be dead, lying on the ground after Murkoff's tactical vision pulled out the body from the elevator shaft, who they mistake for one of the asylum's victims after seeing his body. They mistake him for one of the asylum's victims. Oh, Jesus. I didn't even know that. So, the personality of Traeger. He is a very upbeat and friendly man, always cracking jokes and never losing his composure. However, this masks his true persona. A sadistic, murderous psychopath who takes great delight in torturing virtually anyone he comes across. His insane mutterings and notes reveal he is obsessed with making money, believing the only thing that really matters is making a profit, and has discernment satisfaction with biology. So one of the quotes basically that he said, you have to rob Paul to pay Peter. I think he has to rob Paul to pay Peter. It was something like that. So he's basically obsessed with a profit. He thinks the only thing that matters is profit. That's why he cut off Miles' fingers to sell them. But Traeger's just a fucking psychopath. So he soothes both of these obsessions with his torturous occupation, learning about his biology by cutting up his victims, and gaining money by selling the severed parts. So he learns biology by killing his patients, cutting them up. So he's trying to learn biology, what's inside the genitals, what's inside the tongue. I don't know. What's inside a balloon? I'm kidding. Well, what's inside that channel. What's inside a balloon? I'll stop. But what's inside, your fingers? I don't know. Not really what's inside, but you know what I mean. Like what's about. Like how's it there? So while he seems to maintain his polite and upper-class personality even when torturing Miles, he mentally breaks upon discovering Miles' escape, screaming profanity-filled rants and yelling at the cannot-stand quitters. So he cannot stand quitters, as in he can't stand someone who gives up. Even though what I don't get is Miles didn't really give up. To be honest, he was escaping. He didn't give up and just kill himself. He didn't give up. He was escaping. I don't know, like, he wasn't really quitting, if that makes sense. I don't know how to really explain it, but I mean, so all in all, Traeger can't stand quitters because he thinks they're pussies. Blah blah blah. So his physical description is he was a slim man with a long curly hair who frequently wore a pink dress shirt and with his collar popped and his sleeves rolled up just below the elbow, tucked into tan. Blah blah blah. So the physical description was Traeger was a slim man with long curly hair who frequently wore a pink dress shirt with his collar popped and his sleeves rolled up just below his elbow, tucked into tan slacks, a black belt, matching shoes, and a dark blue sweater tied around the neck, along with an analog watch on his right wrist. So basically Traeger just had like something around him and covering his dick. So usually you see the patients with like, pants on, no shirt, or every shirt and pants on, or just naked like the twins, But he became very withered and bony with numerous scars running down his body. The left side of his lower lip has been torn off, leaving him with a slight lisp. I did not know that. That's a good thing to, know every day, So also, during the incident of Mount Massive Asylum, he fashioned himself as a surgeon, donning a blood-stained apron around his front part of his legs. That's what I was saying, like a dress around his legs to cover up his penis, and show his ass, which was just a dark green patient sheets with a tattered surgeon mask, steampunk-esque monocles with a shattered right lens, and a patient drip wrapped around his left arm that punctures his veins. So that thing wrapped around his arm was like, I guess to keep putting blood into him. I don't really know for sure. I'm showing a picture up right now what it means, but I mean that's basically it. Yeah. So my favorite quotes from Trager was "Hey, you're that little shit's priest guy, aren't you? His witness or whatever. You must be exhausted. Let's take a break, huh, buddy? The two old Martani lunch. I can't say it. Have a little confab, and then heavier than you look. A little cardio wouldn't kill you. Okay, here we go. Arms and legs inside the car at all times. Trigger's just a funny fucking person, but at the same time, he creeps me the fuck out. Also, I love when he says, "I love the mountain air up here at night. You want to head out and take a stroll? Go ahead. I'll wait here. Go on. Run free. I'm in no hurry." No? Alright. Nose to the grindstone. I like that. Okay then, right this way. So, Traeger, I like him so much. I have so much favorite quotes from Traeger, but the most, one was probably, arms and legs inside the cart at all times. I don't know, I thought that was funny. And like we said, Traeger doesn't like a quitter. He calls fucking Miles Upshur buddy. And he wants to sell his fingers, blah blah blah. So I went over pretty much everything about Richard Traeger. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and drop a like, share the channel around, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. If you want me to do more of these, just comment it down below. I would greatly appreciate it, because I love doing these. I mean, they seem fun. The editing is going to be the hard part, but it's gonna be fun. So I hope you guys do have a nice night. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
He's gone. Well, money becomes a matter of faith. And that's what I'm here for. To make you believe. You paying attention?